The Building Breakthrough Agenda calls for zero carbon and resilient buildings to become new norm by 2030. But it defines that all buildings, all new construction, need to comply with net zero standards as well as resilient standards. Globally, the Paris alignment requires everyone to do something to reduce the carbon emission. Within IFC, what we have done, we defined zero carbon standards on the edge, and we defined resilient standards on the Building Resilience Index. And having these two instruments helps all the builders and all the building owners to comply with that requirements by 2030. And to do that, many countries, they have no plans yet, but Building Breakthrough is already adopted by 70 countries, and the countries are starting to put roadmaps on how to do this. Here in IFC, we have different instruments to support clients to become low carbon and resilient. And these instruments start from our financial instruments. We can provide loans or different equity support. We also have advisory services where we can provide advice to the clients to decarbonize their assets and make their assets more resilient. We also can bring blended finance and better financing instruments. Our role is not only to work with the end clients, but also work with financial institutions, with the banks, to offer these solutions to their end clients. We have been looking at the building sector to say, okay, we are going to certify our buildings and we would be great. But the certification no longer is enough. Buildings need to go to zero carbon, but even zero carbon is not enough. They need to go to zero carbon and resilient buildings, and that's the stretch we are asking for businesses here in the Philippines to aspire to. In terms of raising the ambition, we started the Building Resilience Index. The idea was that we wanted to find a country where the country is very exposed to many natural disasters, but at the same time there's potential in that country to embrace resilience principles. And I know that with bringing Building Resilience Index and zero carbon, Philippines is already on the path to Building Breakthrough. And this is a really good pilot for the businesses in the Philippines, but also is a good pilot for other countries to follow. And hopefully with this standard, we would be able to meet, at least with the large projects, the zero carbon and resilient buildings by 2030. Let us work together for a near zero and resilient Philippines.